Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on something for the front cover, I believe. It's going to be like a butterfly net, and it's going to have our little bug-catching lady on the front in the center of this net that I'm making. We're going to be using some of the circle dies. These are Doris um nesting circles, I guess it's called. I believe this is a 4-inch. It's the largest one of the set, and I think it's just perfect to go over this doily. All right, let me do the sneaky peek real quick, and then we'll get to what else I've got on my desk here that's going to go with the look. You know, I've always got to get a look going on. Oh, this little piece is one of my favorites. This was from out of a Stamperia pad. I think it was Wood and Laces or something like that. It had a lot of brown elements, and I really like this. This was one of my videos from way back when. I'll see if I can try to get it to link it, but I did a lot of stamping on separate pieces of paper, like that piece and that piece, and some of these over here are separate pieces, just so I could get a variation of colors. And then some are just stamped onto this like a orange and white grid design behind there. So that's how I did it. This little piece here kind of slides around. It says stay together forever. I've got the little leaf tied on there just to kind of go with the look. I should have put brads on here, but I did one here, but I didn't on these 3 corners, and I really wish I had. Well, behind it, it's an actual pocket. And this is just one of those map pages that I've got. It's a little pad called Uncharted, and I got it because it makes the perfect journal cards. Now this one I folded in half, so it would be a double journal card, but it can be used to write in, and then you can tuck it in behind here again. And this is just glued down on the 3 sides. All right, I hope you like that, and I put this little clock down here because the colors really went well. All right, so that's what we're going to look at today. And like I said, I'm going to try to find that in my makes. I'm sure it's when I made this bird journal, because I usually try to keep all my things together. I usually make the same project through to the end, but sometimes I'll mix something else in between. So anyway, so we got our lady here at the back. It's going to be... It's not that page. It's this page. It's this lady with the hat and a little piece of paper behind her. And she is going to be our heroine. our human for this. Let's say that. This is a doily that is 6 inches. It's a 6-inch doily. I took it and tea-dyed it at one time. That's why it's got like a little off design. This is a piece of copper foil from a paper pad from Michael's. And I probably got it buy one, get one half off kind of thing. That's usually how I work it. I've also got some Distress Spray Stain Tarnished Brass and some antique bronze. Well, I may not need the antique bronze because I was going to take a lollipop stick or a tongue depressor stick and make my butterfly net. Now, this is going to also be for the butterfly net. It's going kind of over top of the doily. So it's going to add us a little bit more interest. It's going to put a little gold in there and that kind of thing. So what's to happen with this? I want to cut. So I've got to draw a butterfly net. So basically, it's going to kind of look like a magnifying glass. I guess that's what I'm going for here. So I'm going to draw the circle. Probably the inside part is what I'll use for the circle inside. And I'm trying to figure out where else to grab it so I can finish the line here. And then I'm going to have to freehand the outside. So I'm going to try to just eyeball it. Now, if you can't freehand it, take you something like a little strip of paper. I'm trying to see if I got anything around here. Well, this will do for an example. So you'd take your little strip of paper and you would kind of go like that. And then line it up again against the edge and go like that. And you keep doing that all the way around and you can connect them eventually. So you could do something to that sort to make your own circle. It doesn't have to be flush on the money of being exact. It's just fun to try to create things yourself. I'm always trying to make something out of paper to tell my story. And I thought this would do the job. I almost made magnifying glasses, but I thought, well, you know, this was supposed to be specimen, but it actually is turning out to be more nature. So I'm probably going to change the name here, you know, in the titles where I've got specimen. I'm probably going to change it to say, you know, nature, wildlife, or something like that journal. Sometimes your journals want to be something else. Let's put it like that. They want to be something else. Okay, so I want to cut this right in the middle. So I'm eyeballing that to figure out where that would be. So I'm going to kind of draw a line like that. And yeah, then I want to give it a little bit more of a flare out at the bottom. Not much, just a little. Let's see how that looks. And I'm trying to see if it looks like it's in the center. It is not. But I think it'll be okay. It's close enough. We'll let it go. And then sometimes you can kind of get stylized, like you could round off the corners here to make it look like it's a more decorative piece. Down here, this could be, how long is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't need it to be more than 8 because it's not going to fit on the cover. So it's either going to be here or a little shorter. I'll cut it there for now, but I may change it later. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I'm going to see about cutting this circle out of the inside. I've actually got my die cutter out on the floor beside me. Okay, let's cut that off. I'll save these little pieces in case I need them for some other small part. Like I could probably go through and do some more die cutting on some leaves and such and use that. Now I have this other type of project I want to do for here that involves those leaves. They're called a fragment leaf. It's a Tim Holtz die cut. And I made a leaf pocket one time with them. And people really liked it. And I thought I would show you how I made that. And I think I did a drop shadow in this, either this copper or a silk, a gold maybe. I think it was in this copper. And it turned out really pretty. I'm trying to remember what book that was in case that was one I could show you again. It's not coming to me, though. It's just not coming to me. All right, so let's get this out of the way. I got stuff everywhere. All right, so what I see, it's a little off, but I think I'm okay with that. Actually, I could maybe cut this down a little bit more, and that'll give it a more, yeah. There we go. Did I get it straight? No. There. All right, now I'm going to drop over here and I'm going to cut this circle out. Just put it on there like that and let it cut and see what I get. Okay, so I have this part done. And this is sort of what it's going to look like. Now I need to cut the piece that I need to go over top of this. Then we can build on top of that with our sticker face, and I believe I'm going to try to use some Curator, the miniature Curator pieces to kind of tuck in behind it. I think that's how I want to decorate this. Now this I just need to cut off right there, so that's done. And then I'll just kind of lightly, since it's a square, I'm going to lightly go around it and kind of cut it into a circular shape, just so it goes with our look. And this is the part that's going to add the net to our butterfly net. Okay, and then I just got to slowly try to cut it just a little bit less than my doily here. Doilies are great. I mean, you can always make something out of a doily. I saw where somebody had looked at my doily Christmas tree that I showed you how to make, and I've got like a template on my Rhoda's Junk page where I gave you the size of the doily that I used and how I went about cutting the pieces out and where I reassembled them to become a tree. It turned out really cute. It makes a great Christmas card. That's what I did with mine at that time. Now, I don't know that I can use these little pieces here. I'm going to just set them up to the side, except for the really tiny stuff. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a tad of glue. Since I'm going to put her down, I really don't need to put glue here. I can put it underneath her sticker, wherever that is now. There we go. Alright, so I'll just peel that right out. And I guess you knew this was the Halloween 2024 sticker book. And it had skulls and masks and witches' hats. Now this year they put the witch's hat with a slit in it where you could tuck it right onto one of the paper dolls' heads. And I'm trying to debate whether I want to have a kind of a frame. I'm trying to think of the word. Do I want a frame around her? I don't know. It kind of looks good, doesn't it? Let's try to use this little piece. I had this little piece from the other day. And let's see if I can't use it. And see if it doesn't come in handy. So, do I need more than that? Let's see if we can rip one more time. If it just gives me just a little bit of a rough edge look, that's all I want. So let's go and see what we can do real quick with what we got. Maybe I should have it the other way so I can see what I'm doing. That wouldn't hurt. Alright. I like this edge more because it's got that white showing. So let's see about that. Okay, now we're going to trim that off and see if we got enough to do the top and the bottom. We should. Alright, now this is going to go on one end. Well, there. And I should be good because the fabric tack will hold this down. Okay, and I'll do a little bit up here once I start gluing. How about this piece? That piece wasn't quite right. Alright. Now, I think that'll work. And get that out of the way. Get this back over here. And we're going to see what we can do to magically get this to go together. Yeah, I kind of like that better. It gives her a more, I don't know what you would call it, a more natural look. let's just do that. I needed all my edges. Like if you plan to put something under a piece, and at the moment you're not sure if it's going to work right, and you want to tuck a few things under to audition, then that's what you need to do. Leave a little bit of room around the outside edge. So we're going to put this down right here, right in the middle. I believe that's right there. Okay, now what we're going to use is, and I don't know if I need fabric tack for this or just regular glue. I might be able to use regular glue because this is so sheer. Regular glue could get through it to get to the paper in behind. So we're going to pull this over here for now. Get this off to the side. And I had thought to use this to stain some stuff with. So we're going to see if that's what I need to do over this thing at the end. Okay, now the little Curator labels are in here. Here we go. I had field notes and snippets and something else in here, number strips. But I got this little box at Walmart, and it pulls out, and I've got all my different pieces of ephemera in there. And what I want to do, get you down a little closer so you're not so far away, is pull out a few of these and tuck in behind and see how it looks. Now, it also will give you colors. See, I want to tuck some stuff in like that. So I'm just going to start gluing as I go along here and see what we get. So this one gets a little dab. And if you want, you can put a little bit on the opposite side so it catches. But we can probably go back under here and with the glue nose and glue the rest of it down once we've got this all cemented. Yeah, Paris, that'll be kind of cool because that's got a yellowy look to it. So let's put that right here. Come on, get under there. The net's holding it. Plus that little bit of glue I used that I shouldn't have had. But I want to see Paris. I'm hoping I can see this once I get this one here. Oh yeah, we're good. I wanted to see a little bit of the background, but not all of it. So I need to choose small pieces to get this going. And that's all we're going to do. Is glue this up underneath. Well, I have decided I am not going to work with a Christmas journal this year. Usually I make one every year, but I don't think I am. I was looking at not Shabby Dabby Doo Dah. This was Tracy Fox. They were showing their new book or whatever for the holidays. It's gonna have different stories in it and that kind of thing. It's just not for me. I was hoping, I don't know, I guess I'm just not a Christmas person. Now what happened to me was Walmart. I just don't, I'm not in a Christmas mind anymore because it was just so commercialized there, and it kind of messed up my thinking. Working there all together messed up my thinking. I just didn't enjoy it. Let's put it like that. Now, I used to work in the fabrics and crafts department. Now, okay, I don't know if you've ever heard my story about working at Walmart, but when I first started there, I was hired. There was a bunch of us being hired at the same time. I think it was about 8 of us. I think that was right. Anyhow, so there was 8 of us, and we were interviewed, and then I think it was a couple of the assistant managers that actually talked to us back then. But we were interviewed, and then they said that there was going to be 2 of us that got full-time, and the rest of them would be, part-time. And I think I was, after about 2 or 3 weeks, I think me and maybe one other were what was left. I remember being in the room, and then we went to be interviewed and stuff, and they'll be asking you this and that, and I had all kinds of stuff on my application because I was artistic and I liked pets, so I knew fish and everything, and I liked flowers and this and that. And I said, the only thing I don't know is fashion. I said, I'm not very good at fashion because I'm just, I'm not, very good. My sister was the drama queen with all that, but I wasn't. So guess where I got put? In menswear. Like, of all things, a single girl that don't know much about men. I was put in menswear, and I was given one of the full-time options. Now, when I was in that interview process, there was this dude, and he was just all braggarty. He was saying, "I'll be your boss in about 4 months or something." Yeah, right. I think he was one of the first ones that went back out the door again. But yeah, I loved working in fabrics and crafts. Now, I was in menswear for like 8, 9 months. I was in there a long time. And I think what happened was my this is another funny story. Okay, so I'm Rhoda. Okay, but my first part of my life, up through, high school and everything, I was Diane. That's my middle name. So, and it's Dian. There's no E to it. I was told Mom couldn't spell well, so she forgot to put the E on it. Now, Rhoda was from my dad, and then Diane, I think, was from Mom. And so, anyhow, I had to take the name Diane. No. I couldn't use the name Diane. Sorry, I'll get it right here in a minute. Yeah, I couldn't use the name Diane because my department manager's name was Diane. And I think we were about the only two that worked in menswear. So they said, no, they said, you have to use your first name because it's going to be too confusing if, there's two Dianes in the same department. Well, it took me, I don't know how long to turn around when somebody said my name. It took a long time. And, yeah, at least 3 to 4 weeks. I can't even tell you. But yeah, I worked there, and then I finally, I didn't like it anymore. We had the fitting rooms over there. Oh, this lady's like a butterfly hunter, so maybe I can put this little butterfly on there. Yeah, so they had 3 fitting rooms, and men are disgusting. I'm sorry if you're a man out there, but this is like, this was when I was working there. These men would come in, and there was some of them that actually used the bathroom in there, or they would spit, or I don't know what. They just did so many nasty things. I couldn't take it. So I had to finally get out of that department. So I did go to Fabrics and Crafts, and I loved it. And I was actually over the Fabrics and Crafts at one time. I was department manager when we moved the store to another location. I don't like this white. You will always see me cut the white off of these things because I don't like it. But, yeah, so, but I think before that I was in domestics. Now I had a department manager, and, I really liked her. We got along so well. And she would just give me a list of things to do, and boop, 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 I was out there doing it. I tried to take all the stress off of her I could. Well, what happened was they needed a department manager for some other place, and I don't know how she got chosen for it, or if she put her name in, or decided not to. I don't know. I guess she thought she wanted another place to work, and she left, and I had to work with a new person. I didn't mind working with her. It's just me and Betty got along so well. But that's hard. It was hard on me, boy. About to say bye-bye. And then eventually, eventually I took up with the bakery. I'd never decorated cakes or anything before, so there was this guy, Nathan, and he was helping train me on what to do. And he showed me how to make roses. He showed me how to ice the cakes. And man, back then, we had been open. That might have been one of my earlier jobs, because we had only been open like maybe a year and a half when I went to the bakery. And he was showing how to do all this stuff. And yeah, it was fun. All right, so here's our lady so far. And I'm going to ink around the outside edge of this. I don't think I'm going to be using my splatter. I thought I would splatter on here, but I don't think that I need to. What do you think? Maybe we'll try it. Let me get my paper out here. And I'm going to put a little bit of something over her face. What would it be? Got a little bit of scrap paper here. Let's see what I can do with that. So we learned how to, you know, do the shell borders and fill the bags and ice the cakes. And we did all kinds of stuff there. It was so fun. And I eventually became the head cake decorator. I mean, I wasn't good at the wedding cakes, and I'm just going to tap this and see if I can get some of this to go down on these elements to give it a grungy look. And yeah, it was fun, but you know, it gave me carpal tunnel. I mean, I enjoyed the job, but it just, and the guy Nathan who had taught me before, he had left. But that's why I became the head cake decorator, because he left. And what had happened was a new girl came in, and she used to work at Publix in Florida. That's where she kind of come from. Boy, did she teach us so many other things to know and learn. And yeah, she did these special kind of roses and decorative edges. We used to do just a rosebud edge and all this kind of stuff. And then she was showing us all these other things, and it was amazing. Okay, I don't know if I'm still going to be able to do this, but I'm going to try to use some vintage photo ink with one of these little brushes. And I'm going to see if I can get the outside edge a little darker. And we'll see if this works. I can pull this back because it's not glued down. Oh yeah, I think it's working. So anyway, she taught us so many different things, and we sold cakes like crazy. Like when I first got there, cakes were just flying out the door. Now we had to bake the cakes. We had to make the batter in those humongous vats, you know, and then we had to put them in on the sheet pans, and we had a special little rim that went around the edge of the sheet pan to keep the cake in there. And it baked as a full sheet cake, but as you needed a half sheet or a quarter sheet, you cut it down. So that's how it usually worked. And we froze them, and some of the cakes, I mean, we're making 80 to 90 cakes a day, because we had round cakes, single and double. We had pies, we had cupcakes. So it had so many different things we had to make. And yeah, it was pretty neat. Now, I thought there was something else I needed to do. Maybe glue. I think I was supposed to glue around the outside edge of that after I got all my little pieces on there. So let's see if we can slide this under here and do some of that. Yeah, we had like this wheel, I don't know what you call it, cake stand or something, that you put your cake on, or you put your cake on, and then you put like a dollop of icing on there, and then you spun it and leveled that out. Then you put your other piece of cake on there, especially if it was a double sheet or whatever. And you, yeah, that's what you did. You just kind of went to town. And then you got to decorate. Boston cream was my favorite. It was a single sheet cake, and you had to take the crock pot and heat it up. And they had this fudge that they used on the top of their donuts back there. So we took a couple ladles of that and put it in this crock pot. And what happened was you would heat it up, and then you could get a ladle or a big spoon, and you took and cut your single white yellow cake in half. And then you put the Bavarian cream icing inside that they also used. Now I'm going to glue this down by just gluing around the outside of this and putting it where I want it. And then once you got the top back on, you would take and make a big ladle and put that over top of this cake, and it would just kind of dribble down the outside edge. You know, it was gorgeous. I loved making those. Another one that was fun to make was what was that? It was I'm trying to think. What was it? A Boston, Black Forest. I think that was it, because that was a 2-layer white cake, yellow cake. Then it had the black. You put fudge in the center, and iced it in white icing. Then you put fudge over it to drizzle down the edges, and then you built up a shell edge around it, and you put cherry filling in there. I'm thinking that may have been something they had in the back as well for the donuts. So anyhow, that was so fun to learn all those cakes and to build them all. I was looking at this because when I was heating it to try to dry these dots, it started kind of pulling up here along the outside edges and curling just a bit. But I don't know if I want to try to do any more of that, because I'm afraid. Afraid what will happen. Okay, I'm putting a little bit more glue right there to go down the edge. And I think we're done. That didn't take very long at all, did it? But I thought it would be something kind of cute to make. And like I said, it's going to go on the front cover. And she is a butterfly catcher. And somehow the butterfly theme will be throughout this book. So that's what we're going to do there. And make this all work together. But I really like how it turned out. How about you? Do you like it? You think it looks like a butterfly net? It's a little, as with everything I make, it's a little far off the mark, but I'm always trying to think outside the box. So I hope everybody enjoyed this and you had a good time listening to me ramble on about Walmart. It was 27 years of my life, so yeah, there was a lot to it. But I really thank all my subscribers and viewers for coming by to visit with me today. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all the great comments I always get. Even if you leave hearts. I got this one girl, Katrina, that just leaves me hearts. Well, that is something. That I appreciate that so much, Katrina. So if you're out there, I mean, that really gets, that's like a comment. So that gives me that you love it, that you liked it. It lets me know that I'm on the right path, that I'm doing something. So that's what your comments do. They kind of let me know what you like and what you prefer to see, if you're enjoying what I'm actually doing, that kind of thing. So, well, I really want to thank you, and I'm going to let you go now, and I will catch you again another day. Thank you. Bye-bye.